and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Indiana Jones, and welcome to that thrifting collab with my friends Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling, Caroline's daughter, and Jody at Southern Seasons. We got together to share what we created with some thrifted finds. I do have a little bit of Christmas in July, but you'd be surprised exactly how. Let's see what I came up with today. So today I went into my stash and got yet another globe for another project that's going to turn out into two different items that we can use for Christmas. Now this globe, I had gone outside and already painted it before I took a before picture, but it was just a plain old globe. What's important to realize is that this is made with cardboard or paper. I thought it was plastic at first, and then I realized when I painted it that no, this is paper. Very thick and dense paper. I'm trying to get the globe off of that globe holder. I don't know what else to call it. And I was trying everything. Oh my goodness. And for what I need to do with this globe, I need to cut out some pieces of it. But for this first project, I just needed to get the globe out of the stand so that I can use the stand in a different way. So here is the globe stand that I'm going to use for a wintry centerpiece for Christmas, since it's Christmas in July. First thing I'm going to do, because you can tell that I painted the globe black, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see it later. But now I want to cover that bottom base with white, so it goes along with my wintry white Christmas or holiday decor. I thought it was very fortunate that that globe had this wonderful base, because how perfect is this to create a standing, I could do a standing wreath as a centerpiece. I decided to do more of a floral kind of centerpiece. You'll see in just a moment. Here I just took a piece of styrofoam. I cut it to fit underneath the rings of that base. And this is going to be the foundation for my floral arrangements for my wintry centerpiece. Luckily, when Michael's had those big sales with the $10 boxes, I always try to buy at least 3 boxes, no more than 4 maybe, simply because I don't have the space. But oh my goodness, I'm always so happy when it includes some greenery. So here I'm just positioning this lovely greenery to go around this beautiful base for this centerpiece. Now to tie it to the ring, I am using some white chenille stems. I should have used wiring, but it was what was close by to me. You know how that is. And I am doing this at my dining room table simply so that I can sit down. Actually, during the time I filmed this, I had worked on the second half of this video, and it was drying on the table. You'll see it in just a minute. I had this beautiful flock tree that fit beautifully in the middle of this base. It's so perfect because there literally was an area there, and it fit that beautiful white tree just as I needed it to. So all I'm doing is adding some more florals. I tried to keep it very simple, just try to keep it with the greenery. Not only that, I didn't want to go rummaging through my shed, which is very, very packed. I have to start pulling things out to figure out what I need for the Deering estate, but that's not until October when I have to decorate. I can start decorating, I believe, on the 30th or 31st, which yes, it's Halloween, but last year I spent Halloween morning at the Deering estate, filling it up with my beautiful Christmas goodies. But I do need to get some of that prepared at least a while in advance. I add a bow and some lights, and I will show you the full arrangement at the end of this video. As I mentioned before, here is the project that I'm going to work on with the rest of that globe, and here is the globe again before I tore it apart. Oh my goodness, I have never had such a tough time trying to cut through anything. This project took me, just cutting through and getting that stand off took me at least 40 minutes. Now I need to make a scuba diving mask, a vintage scuba diving, or I should call it deep sea diving helmet. Why? Well, because at the Deering Estate, which is a 100-year-old estate, I'm going to decorate it, and our theme is tides and tidings, so we have to do something about the ocean. So half of the room that I'm going to be decorating is going to be a deep sea diver who experiences a mermaid's Christmas. So I thought it would be cool to have a deep sea diving mask. Now they're extremely expensive if you get a life-size one, so I decided to make one myself. There are a ton of videos out there that are better than mine. I want to say, no. There are a ton of videos out there that actually create the actual scuba diving gear or the scuba diving helmet from like paper mache or those mats, those like rubbery kind of mats, PVC. I think I want to call it PVC. So I decided to use a globe that I already had because I thought it would be easy. Oh my gosh, it was so difficult. I tried my Dremel. Now I'm just using a knife. It's pretty bad. I'm just going nuts trying to open it up. It took me another hour just to open up the circles that I needed to create this scuba diving mask. But in the end, I got it done. I also thought it was very cool that if you take a globe and paint it black and make an indentation, you kind of make the Death Star. I thought that was really cool. Don't ask me why, but yeah. If there's easier ways, I think. I just didn't have the time to make paper mache and wait for it to get, dry, and I just didn't have the time for that. And I wanted to get this done in the summertime because I also have to make ornaments and other decor for the Christmas tree room that I'm preparing. Now here I am trying to round out those very crude looking holes, but in the end I figured I would just use the PVC mats to cover up the ugliness of these holes. I meant EVA foam, not PVC. I don't know what I was talking about. Yes, I am recording this voiceover late into the evening. And speaking of late into the evening, there is my little magical kitty cat. Maybe her being around will give me good luck so that I can complete this project. I was losing so much faith in myself at this point because I was like, I'm never going to get this done. I had all day and it was taking me forever just to try to cut out these. And then I realized I'm going to use the EVA foam to cover up those nasty looking holes, but it all works out in the end. But it's always a pleasure to have my cute little kudu nearby to help me with my crafting. Here is the EVA foam roll. This is $8.99 for a full roll, and I just decided it was better to buy this because, Halloween is coming up and Christmas, and if you buy the foam alone, just the sheets, it's probably around 99 cents to $1.99 depending on the thickness. This is a little thicker. And I thought it would be necessary to have a whole roll for future projects. Now there you can see I took the helmet outside after I cut the holes and I covered it with copper paint, copper spray paint. And because I already had the base in black, I covered it with at least 3 to 4 passings, I think I want to say, of paint. And here's Luna. If you hadn't met my other little kitty cat, Luna, she was very curious as to what I was doing. And of course I was trying to cut out the trim in that EVA foam, which is pretty easy to cut, but I can tell you at this point my hands were so tired from cutting those holes. And I hadn't noticed, but look at what little Luna is doing. She's getting herself into the little holes there, and then I was trying to hold it so she wouldn't fall over while she was trying to see what was inside that very curious helmet. Now I'm using these clear plastic plates, and they're going to act as my little windows for my deep sea diving helmet or mask. What do you call it? A helmet or a mask? I'm just going to call it a helmet. And this is a vintage one, obviously. We have much better ones now. But now I'm just going to paint them with a metallic gold type of color. It's like an antique gold. Just trying to help create some kind of like real looking. I don't know if that makes sense, but I didn't want to use copper because I just wanted there to be a contrast between the two metals. And besides, if I look at pictures, these rings are usually in a different type of metal. I don't think it's gold per se, but it has that gold patina on it. So now I'm going to paint all of these trimmings, and then I'm going to create them or put them onto the helmet itself now that the helmet is dry. One of the things I do is I do create a little cage for the windows, the same as they would have in, or that they have in these vintage sea diving equipment. Using those plastic plates, I'm just going to glue them onto the inside of that trim. And then I'm going to continue by adding some embellishments to the outside. And the embellishments are basically like pads that you can buy for, like, they're plastic pads, or you can use googly eyes and paint them the different colors. Now, this is the little cage that I was talking about before. I actually used the handles off of a gift bag to create these little cages that they used to use to keep the to keep the windows safe, so that nobody could just like knock into it by mistake or anything. So all the windows will have this little crisscross of metal just to protect the glass. By the way, I want to welcome anyone who is new, and I've gotten several new subscribers to my channel since last week's video. I want to thank you for stopping by and for coming back for more. I hope that I not only inspire you, but I entertain you. I don't know if I am entertaining with my stories, but I do love to talk while I'm crafting, and especially when I'm doing my little voiceovers. So I hope you enjoy it here, and please introduce yourself to the community. Here are the little embellishments that I made, and that's how I'm going to line up the two little windows. And here I'm adding some embellishments to the smaller windows themselves. Of course, if you look at a deep sea diving mask, you'll see there are four windows. So a person can look up, they can look on either side in the periphery vision, and of course the main window, which is up in front. But I really think that this came out so well. The 4 layers of paint, really made it look like it's really metal the way they were in the past. And now adding the trim and adding a little bit of some embellishments really brings the whole design together. Now I am putting together all the windows around the mask. I wish I could say that this was the end of it. This is all I had to do, but I did have to create a cowl like they appear in the deep sea diving masks of old. But I really had so much fun trying to come up with this idea. I really wanted to have the showing of a deep sea diver that is dreaming of a mermaid Christmas this year. Now I am using the EVA foam that I cut out, and I'm sorry I didn't show it, but I didn't think it was that interesting. And here what I did with I have the thinner EVA foam, and that I'm using as a trim that would normally be attached to the diving suit. But here I'm just using this that I created as the cowl for the diving helmet. Now I'll show you in the end a full picture of both projects, but I really had so much fun being able to use one thrifted item in 2 very, very different ways. So let's take a final look. I want to thank my dear friends Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling, Caroline's Daughter, and Jody at Southern Seasons for hosting this That Thrifting collab. Not thrifting. I'm not thrifting anything. Anyway, we all co-hosted to share what we thrifted and how we came up with the ideas we came up with. I hope you're inspired to go thrifting and creating something new today. Thanks again for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. And I will see you for a new adventure very, very soon.